I'm Chris, 47 Club Runner, and I thought I could put this video together because I was searching on the internet, like you do, on YouTube, looking for shoe comparison, and I wanted to see a comparison between the Tempo Next Percents and the Zoom Fly 3, because I've always been interested in the Zoom Fly 3. You know, it's a good looking shoe, but it's like the Tempo Next Percent, a bit of a Marmite shoe, and I didn't want to pay 120 quid, which is still commanding. And so I looked on eBay, managed to find a pair for £50, and they've only got 40 miles in. Look at these. Stunning looking shoe. So you can believe that they've only got 50 miles in when I've got them. I've put another 40 in them since I've had them. Running in them, I can't even talk. I don't know, I just feel sometimes, are they a fast shoe? Are they not a fast shoe? So I thought, why not test them against my Tempo Next Percents and see which is quicker. Yes, these are a more expensive shoe, normally retail at 170, where obviously the Zoom Fly 2s are retailing at a new 140. But I thought it was worth comparing them. They look very different, but I think they're very similar shoes. So my plan today was to do the half a mile time trial, go back, do some flybys, and then jog back home to change my shoes to get the next shoe. And I'm also going to test them against another mystery shoe, which I get to in the end, because I thought my mystery shoe was quicker than both of these, but we will find out.
Perfect.
So let's start off with the Zoom Fly 3s. It's a fantastic looking shoe. Yes, it is a heavy shoe, but as I say, I'm used to it because I wear the Tempo Next Percent. It's got React foam, full carbon plate, weighs in at 315 grams in a UK size 11, and the heel to toe drop is 8mm. And so I was just going to do the runs on perceived effort, kind of 5k pace, over that kind of half a mile, without looking at my watch, and I say then go home, change it, and then do the next one. So I managed to do this one at 5:55 pace. My maximum heart rate was at 156. My average obviously slightly lower than that, and so I didn't know how to kind of gauge this shoe against the other one. But as I say, I find this to be very, very comfortable. I'm a big lover of the Pegasus 37. To me, this is a more comfortable version of the Pegasus 37, but with a carbon plate. And when I run in it, I don't really feel the road. And it's almost like you kind of get to here, and you can see where this kind of drop off here. When you're running in it, you kind of get to here, and then you don't feel this section. It's kind of just off you go, obviously with a carbon plate. So I say I wanted to test it because this should be a quick shoe. It's got a full carbon plate in, and it's not really any heavier than the Tempo Next Percent. So we set the benchmark, 5:55 mile pace. And so the Tempo Next Percent, this, when I first wore this, I think I broke most of my PBs straight away in this shoe. Now, when I'm comparing it against, obviously, the comfort of the Fly 3, I actually don't find this as comfortable. I find it to be quite noisy, clumpy, but as soon as I put it on, it felt so much lighter, especially in this area. But where the other one just drops off, I could feel here every time I toe off, and I could obviously feel the road. And the only other thing that I did notice with the AirPods is that when I was doing London and I did a 20-mile run, that after about 18 miles you can actually feel the AirPods in them. So for a marathon shoe, I'd probably steer clear of them. Right, so this shoe made up of React foam, Zoom X as well, and it's got a composite carbon plate, but it's got the AirPod. So we took this one out, and I said, jogged back to the start, made sure my heart rate was at the same as when I started the other one, around about 130, and then went off at the perceived effort without looking at my watch, and done exactly the same time, and my max heart rate was exactly the same. So these shoes are exactly the same. The only thing I did notice on these, it was not raining but slippery out there, and these were slipping quite a lot on the actual road, the kind of tarmac of the road, where the others were very grippy. So obviously out of the two, if it's wet, then obviously I'd sway towards the freeze. Out of these two, if I was to choose one to use, say for instance, for a 5k, 10k, even half marathon, I might even be tempted to go marathon, I would choose this shoe. I'd say the Tempo Next Percent, you know, it's a great shoe, but I think it's better for training because it aids recovery because of the high stack height, the Zoom X foam. But I say this shoe just seems to kind of tick all the boxes. It's very comfortable, and that's what you want in a shoe. Yes, it feels slightly heavier, but the Tempo Next Percent 308 grams, and this is only 315, so there's not actually a great deal of difference, which is weird because it feels a lot heavier. I don't know why that is, but you know, I would go with this. As I say, it's a deceivingly quick shoe. Yes, you might say, why do you not use the Alpha Fly? Well, unfortunately, the Alpha Fly I don't get on with. It caused my initial hamstring problem, which I've still got this day. Yes, they're very similar looking shoes, but made up of different materials. The Vaporfly is narrower in the middle, and I think the kind of stability of this shoe just doesn't work for me. So what was this mystery shoe that I was going to test against them? Well, the mystery shoe that I'm going to be testing, or did test against them, was the Zoom Fly 1 SP. This is obviously a classic now. Love of this shoe. Gold sole. Only still got 100 miles in it. And I thought this was my quickest shoe. And so, done the same run, same recovery, and I'm not going to be fatigued after 1.5 miles. Started off at 130 beats per minute, and only managed a 5:59. And this shoe, it just felt so dated. It felt lower. I could feel the road the whole way through, and just there's not as much bounce. Yes, it felt very light because this actually comes in at 267 grams and is actually made up of TPU type foam, which is reasonably cushioned here, but not much here, and I couldn't feel the nylon plate in there. But maybe because obviously the other plates and pods are a little bit maybe more aggressive. Kind of my conclusion is these are not as quick as I thought they were. Lovely looking shoe, work fantastic on the track. For intervals, these are brilliant because I think you've got the cushioning in the track as well. And if you use the Tempo Next Percents on the track, the bounce is just too much, because I've always thought the Tempo Next Percents were more bouncy. But when I've looked at data, comparing the data between the Tempo Next Percents and the Zoom Fly 3, they're actually very similar. My stride length is around about 145 on a 5k, 145 centimeters. So very similar shoe, and looking forward to using the Zoom Fly 3 on my next 10k. So if you've got any experiences of any of these shoes, let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, because as I say, it's difficult with shoes to know, you know, what to buy, because just because I like this shoe, you might not like the shoe. And I think it sometimes comes down to the manufacturing process of the foams, because I've run in 4 pairs of Pegasus 37s. 2 of them were fantastic out of the box. 2 of them took 25 miles, and the 2 that were fantastic at the beginning just feel so much better. And I've had that the same in my Pegasus 35 turbos. I've had it in got 2 more pairs of Zoom Flies. It's just weird how some shoes are comfortable out of the box and other shoes you kind of have to break in, or never as comfortable. Is that to do with the manufacturing process where the foam hardens? Is it to do where they're stored? I don't know, let me know your thoughts, because you sometimes feel bad when you recommend a shoe to someone and they don't like it and you kind of can't work it out. So let me know your thoughts on that. As I say, it's just something I thought about the other day, and I thought maybe it is a kind of manufacturing error or storage error that's causing that. Well, I'm going to leave the video there because I've been rabbiting for a long time, and I will speak to you soon. Onwards and upwards. Cheers.